Hello guys, I'm back with another video today. Today we will be exploring promise.all. So we'll go one by one. First we'll try to understand what promise.all does, then we'll see through some examples, and then we'll try to implement our own promise.all. So that's what we call polyfill or promise.all. So these are the thing we are going to explore it today. So what is promise.all? So promise.all method basically takes a array, which we can say that an iterable, and this array should constitute, or it should include all the promises as an input. So for promise.all, the input will be an array, and this array will be containing the promises, but this array can contain a normal value as well. That is also possible. So promise.all will just ignore those values and it will just return those, because it's not a promise, so it will not have to resolve it. Okay, we'll see that later as well. So but basically promise.all will take an iterable, or better we can call it array, which will consist of the different promises. Okay, so that's what promise.all. Now what happens is promise.all will run all of these promises, and it will return the value if any one of them reject, like it will not see or it will not resolve for the promises if it sees something like something which is some promise which is getting rejected immediately, it will just return a value. But else, if all of the promise works fine, then it will return an array. The result will also be an array, which will have the result of each of the promises which we have provided it earlier. So we'll try to understand it with some example. Let's say I create a promise 1 is equal to, I'll just do promise dot resolve. So, and I'll give this value simple. So what promise dot resolve does is it will create a promise and will be having a value 3 when we'll resolve this. So that can be one promise. We have to have some other examples. So I'll have another promise 2. I'll just give a value simply 42, or I can give another value here, and we can create a new promise itself here. So this is the way to create a new promise in JavaScript. Here we just use promise.resolve to return a new promise having value 3. Here simply we are giving some value, so that I can able to explain you that case where promise.all can have a normal value as well. So we'll see what happens. So here the promise will take a what do we call it, callback. As we are seeing, says promise, we are instantiating one promise, it's taking one callback, and callback can have two parameters, resolve and reject. The first parameter will always be resolve. You can name it whatever you want, but the first one belongs to the resolve and second one belongs to reject. And now let's say I'll have a timeout here, and what I'm doing is I'm just giving this resolve to this set timeout with this delay, and the return value should be 4. Okay, now we have 3 promises, so we are good to have our promise.all. Promise.all should have one iterable. We have a iterable here. We are providing, or we are pushing these promises here, and promise.all, we have provided all this. Now we have to resolve the promise.all, and we can have values here, and this value is nothing but it a result array. It will be array containing the values of these promises. Okay, now I'll just print these values. Okay, so what we have done, we have created 3 promises, we have pushed all these promises inside an array, and we have provided this to promise.all, because as I've already told you before, that promise.all takes a iterable, means an array where it can iterate, and it can have promise there, or it can be having a simple value. So if you can see, promise2 is nothing but a simple value. Okay, so now we'll run this and see what happens. Where is, yeah, so if you can see, it's resulted in an array having these values 3, 42, and it will maintain the same order 3, 42 and 4. So you can understand that promise.all will take an array, and array, inside the array, it can be a promise or it can be a simple value as well. So we have to bear this in mind that a normal value can also come in inside promise.all iterable array. But what promise.all will be doing when it will see that okay, this promise2 is not, it's not a actual promise, it's a simple value, it will just ignore it and return it. It doesn't have to resolve it, but it's an actual promise, so it has to resolve it. It is also an actual promise, but it will get immediately resolved because it doesn't have to wait for anything here, right? So if I talk about the syntax for promise.all is very simple. Promise.all, and here you just have to provide an iterable value, which is nothing but an array. Okay, and this will again return a promise which you have to resolve like this, what we have done here. And inside this, while we are resolving it through then, this callback, the value, this value is nothing but an array which will consist of values of these promises. So the return value is a promise and which we have to resolve. Okay, so that's been said, and we have seen with through example as well that what promise.all is. So we can implement our own promise.all, and we'll see how, like, whether it behaves in a similar way or not. So we'll be implementing our own. So just be with me, we'll see how we can do it. So basically we have to create our own promise.all. So what we'll do is we'll write promise.all is equal to a function, because it's nothing but it's a function, right? It's a function, it should be created to a function. And now the function, what does it takes? As we can see here, it takes an iterable. So these values will be an array which can contain promise or a normal value, right? Okay, what does it returns? Promise.all, what does it return? It returns another promise. That is why we have to resolve it. So that is why what we'll do here is we'll return a new promise from here. Okay, new promise will have one callback. Callback will have two things, resolve and reject. So fine till now this is an array, and we have to iterate through this array and see each of the promises, right? For each, and here we can have a normal value, we can have an index, and we can resolve this like this, like value dot then. Okay, and result will come here. So but thing is, these are asynchronous, right? Let's say we are looping through this value array. Value array is nothing but the array which contains promise. We take out the first value, we try to resolve it, then we'll take out the second value, we'll try to resolve that as well, but we never know whether first one is going to complete first or second one is going to complete first. We can run all this, like we can run through this loop, and we try to resolve this through then block, but inside here we can only come when actually this promise gets resolved. Yeah, please try to understand this thing, that we are looping through the value array. Value array is nothing but the array containing promises. We are trying to loop through each of the promise, and then we are trying to resolve one by one. But thing is, those promises may not return the value synchronously. Again, those promises will not return the value synchronously because it's a async operation, right? Maybe the last one in this array, when we reach the last one and we try to resolve it, that will get us the value first, then the rest of the other promises. So how to manage this situation where we don't know which one will resolve first, but we know that for sure will come inside this block when this particular promise, let's say I am at iteration first where index is 0, I am sure that I'll come inside this block here when this promise will get resolved. So this is surety. So we can have one flag, let's name it completed. Okay, initially the value would be 0, and also once it resolves, we get a value, right? We have to return a array. As we can see here, we what we have seen, it returned an array. That is why in console we can see these values 3, 42 and 4 in the previous example. So we have to return an array which should have all the result. That means we should have a result array. And what we'll do is, here we know in this block where my cursor is, that it will come inside this block only when this particular promise, I don't know which promise it is, it can be the 0th index promise or the first index promise, but whatever index promise it is, it will come inside this block only when it gets resolved. So we'll take benefit from this thing. What we'll do is, we'll make our completed count increment by 1, okay, and we'll store this result. But we can't, we have to maintain the order as well. Like we don't know, let's say we had this 3 promises here, right? And let's say I have a promise 2 which resolves first. So the first one which will be coming inside this block will be this particular thing, right? And if we simply push the result inside, if we simply put, okay, these names are result, maybe we'll name it with something else, we'll name it as results, okay? So we'll push this result into the results array only when we come here, right? But we'll lose the, what you say, order. We'll not know that this is first or this is last, and at the end whenever we are getting the result in the first position only, it can be 42 or 4. Like whoever resolves first will come in this first position, but we don't want that. Like here we have passed the promises in a particular order, and I want my result in that particular order only. So what we can do is, we know that this particular thing belongs to this particular index. Let's say first I have resolved the promise for the index 0. So what I'll do is, or index, let's say 1. So what I'll do is, in results array for this particular index, I will keep the value, because this particular value belongs to this index, and so that index will use, and at that particular index we'll put our result value, right? And yeah, so this, we are maintaining the order of result as well, and we are maintaining how many of my promises have completed, right? Now what happens is, this will keep on it will keep on happening, but on every iteration here, whenever it comes, we have to check whether we have completed. So we have to see whether my completed count reached the length of the promise. We have to see whether our completed value is equal to values dot length, means whatever initial input we had, those many number of promises have resolved. If our completed count is equal to that, that means we have reached. And what we can do is, we can just resolve it. And if you know how resolve works, it, whenever you will call this resolve, it will return in from this new promise. It will return from this new promise. Wherever you create a promise in JavaScript and you call this resolve, it will return it from that place. Means it will return it from that function, right? And it will come out of it, and at the end we are returning it, so we'll come out of it. So here what I'll do is, I'll just send the results, okay, and I'll name it as my all, okay, and this is done, to be sure that nothing breaks. But one thing, we have to handle a situation where we have only the normal values. Let's say we are looping through each of the promises in the values array, right? And this value, we are doing value dot then. But let's say we get a value called 42, and we try to do 42 dot then, but then only works on promises. So we have to make this 42 as promise. Like 42 is number, so it doesn't have then in its prototype, right? Then will be available only on those object which is instance of promise, right? But a normal value is not an instance of promise. So how we can resolve that? What we'll do is, we'll try to make use of this promise.resolve, and we'll wrap this value inside the promise.resolve to make sure that even if we get a normal value, we make it as a promise. We have basically promisify this value. So this value got promiseified, and if, for example, on the console, if we do promise.resolve and I pass, let's say 4, look, it's returning and promise. Or we pass, let's say 42, a number, sorry, 1 second, 42, look, so it's returning an object which is nothing but a promise object. Okay, so we have handled that situation as well if there is a normal value. And let's say if something happens while we are doing the resolve, we can have a catch as well here, because every then block can be accompanied by catch block, because we have to handle a situation where one of the promises rejects, right? So we have to call that reject immediately and we have to return it. Whatever error has come, we will reject with that error and will return from here. Will not be interested in results anymore, because promise dot all, the fundamental principle the promise dot all works is fast failover. Whenever any of the promises it sees getting failed, the overall promise dot all will get rejected with that error. It will not fetch you any completed promise with the result. You will not get the result too. So make sure that you use promise dot all only on those situations where you are interested in all of the value or none. If any of those fails, you are not interested in any value. Okay, so sorry. Now what we'll do is we'll try to run my promise dot all and see whether this works. Well, I'll just comment this out because this is not needed now. I'll just run it again and see it's coming from here. To make sure that it comes from here as well, I'll just simply pass another value. Look, so this is coming. Let's say we can see the reject scenario as well. So what I can do is I can just pass a promise dot reject which reason with foo, not foo, I'll call it bar, and see what happens now. Okay, so we should be having catch here that I missed, error, and console.log error. Okay, now run it. See, we are getting bar. Even some of these promises might have resolved, but at last this guy have rejected, and that's the reason our promise function has to reject finally with the rejected reason. I hope you people have understood this. In the next video, I'll cover rest of the functions one by one. So all the promises functions like promise.trace, promise.all settled, and those things. So thank you guys. If you like the video, please click on the like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe it, and we'll meet in next video. Thank you.